Hassan asked me to answer under Ulema Karam is about voting and whether voting is shirk or whether voting is haram. You might have seen or you might have heard that in Highfields and in Evington, some anonymous vandals, you could call them, have been putting up stickers on lampposts suggesting that voting is shirk. Let me give you the whole side of the argument. What they're saying is they're not saying that voting per se is shirk. But what they're trying to suggest, that what their argument is that for Muslims to participate in the non-Muslim political process, that is wrong. And that is haram. So what they argue is that the only law is Allah's law, Sharia law. So what they're trying to argue is that this is the only thing that Muslims should be striving for. So what they're saying now is that you must only believe in Allah's law. The moment that you give a vote, the moment that you go to a polling station, then what are you doing? You are preferring man-made law over Allah's law. So therefore, their argument is that you have committed shirk, and that therefore, remember, if you say that you have committed shirk, it means you have lost your iman as well. So that's what their argument is. It sounds catchy. It sounds like a good punchline. That look, you're preferring man-made law over Allah's law. And it confuses our youngsters. So that's what their argument is. But however, in reality, when you look at it closely, this argument of theirs, it is flawed, it is shallow, and it is quite ignorant. How? A couple of points that I want to share with you. Number one, the best example is the life of Sayyiduna Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. If you want to answer this question, then let us look at what he did. Our Prophet alayhi salatu wa salam lived most of his life living amongst non-Muslims. The majority of his life, his Meccan life, was in a non-Muslim society. Ask yourself, did he completely stay away from politics and societal matters in that time? Of course not. He was always striving for the betterment of the people. He was always fighting for the rights of the poor, of the needy, of women. There is a famous example in an episode in the life of our Prophet called Hilful Fudul. When he was younger, our Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, he joined a covenant, you could call it, say, of young individuals who basically tried to put right the things that were going wrong in society. The rich and the famous, what they were doing is that they were kidnapping people. There was no police to actually stop them. They were taking goods and not paying for them. Hilful Fudul was a small group of youngsters, including our Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, who campaigned to get the rights back from the individuals. So if this is not political activism, I don't know what is. These people who say voting and participating in the political process is haram, I'm not sure they've read the Quran properly. If they had, then they would have seen that Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam, he worked as a finance minister in non-Muslim Egypt. He wanted this post himself. He asked for it. قَالَ جَعَلْنِي عَلَى خَزَائِنِ الْأَرْضِ إِنِّي حَفِيظٌ عَلِيمٌ. He asked for this post himself. The third point, let's look a bit closer at UK law. The UK law at this moment in time, directly or indirectly, is actually shaped by a lot of Muslim ideas. What you see and what you are taught is Western law and Western democracy. Subhanallah, in reality, it is Islamic. This idea of innocent till proven guilty, maternity rights, disability rights, the right to look after those people who are troubled, the right of a fair trial, freedom of speech, all of these are Muslim ideas. So when you say that voting is haram, then what are you saying then? You're saying that this part of the electoral system and the political system, is that also haram as well? So it's a rather flawed argument. They say voting is haram. Let us look at it from the other side then. To political apathy, what is that going to lead to when you don't participate in the political process at all? Is that going to improve our situation here in this country? If we all Muslims sit at home and don't vote in the upcoming election, do you think we've done something which is considered tawheed now? Believe me, this was a couple of years ago. The same situation unfolded in the northwest. I think it was in Blackburn. Posters went out from the extremists telling the Muslims not to vote in the local council election. So they didn't. You know what happened? The National Front, they came into power. So do you think that's a good situation? So if you don't use your voice, no matter how limited you think it is, someone else will take it for you. Someone else will use it and abuse it as well. The other point is you've got to think carefully about the political system in this country. There are ways by which you can actually make change. And the Prophet ﷺ encouraged change. There are ways, believe it or not, that you can hold your MP to account. You have a very easy way by which you can know how your MP voted for all types of bills and for all types of laws. How he voted, for example, on the Palestine issue. How he voted, for example, on gay rights. How he voted for the same-sex marriages. You have a right to know about that. You can question your MP on that. The problem is, I think, that the Muslims aren't engaged enough in the political system. They're too laid back and they are not holding their MPs to account, and that is the problem. We think, unfortunately, that we are the slaves and the MPs are the masters. It's not like that, and it doesn't have to be like that. We are the masters, they are the slaves. They are serving us, not the other way around. You look at Blackburn in particular. I'll give you the example of Blackburn, where there is a large Muslim population. The Muslims have a stranglehold on Jack Straw. They control whatever he says. If MCB throughout the 90s and in the early 2000s, if they had a lot of say in politics, it was because of Jack Straw, who was basically serving the needs of his constituents who were largely Muslims. Keep Baz up the road, he's going to get voted in, but it's the Hindu population that have got a stranglehold on him. Keep Baz doesn't listen to the Hindus. The Hindus, they are controlling what Keep Baz does in politics. So you have a voice, it's up to you how you actually use it as well. The last point I want to make is that these people, they're saying that voting is shirk. Have they actually understood what shirk means? Shirk is the worst possible crime a Muslim can commit. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَغْفِرُ أَن يُشْرَكَ بِهِ وَيَغْفِرُ مَا دُونَ ذَلِكَ لِمَن يَشَاءُ. In the Holy Quran, Allah says, I'm going to forgive everything, but I'm never going to forgive shirk. So from that straight away, you can understand that shirk is a very grave crime. What is shirk? Is when you consider that there is another God other than Allah, that there were many partners to Allah, that someone or something has God-like attributes. That is what shirk really is. Now, I'm sorry, I don't understand their argument. You're saying that if I vote for Labour now, does that mean I'm worshipping them? You know, how is that an infringement on Tawheed? I don't understand that argument. So don't use words like shirk if you don't understand what it means, and you obviously don't. Everything you label is shirk. Going to the grave is shirk. Celebrating Mawlid is shirk. Saying Ya Rasulullah is shirk. It's the same people who are saying that. They don't understand these basic terminologies, and they try to preach it to others, and unfortunately some of our youngsters, they get actually caught up into that. Our Prophet ﷺ, he taught us about change. Change is in your hands. Sometimes you can do it with your hands, sometimes you can do it with your tongue, sometimes you can do it with your heart. Use that as much as possible.